Well, here we are, everybody. Going on to the second recommendation, Wake Up, from the Wake Up Tour in 2015. And that means we've gotten slightly older in this video. So that means this is now officially 10 years old. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking about what I was doing in 2015. I was still working in the mortgage industry. Things were going pretty good, but I was starting to get a little frustrated and down on the situation. And this is probably when the seeds started to be planted that I probably should start looking for something else. Yeah, that's a whole story. But anyway, 2015, Japan. If this gets blocked, it's going up on the Patreon. Anyway, let's check it out. Okay. Wake up.
My friend, so many my fans. 俺の夢以上に夢のよ涙のためこれ以上は眠れないぜ。顔とまたミット、スピット、思考とヒップ。俺のペンは刀さ、魔法バリスピストル。And on my head に席テレバ疲れてんのもわかるバカで kill you。俺も生きるためにやがるピッチ。親の思いもわかるような最近。この気持ち溢れそうじゃないし、またいくら疲れて眠りついても変わらないやつ。Just keep on it, on it, on it. Just keep on it, on it, on it, on it. Just keep on it, on it, on it, on it. Just keep on it, on it, on it, on it, on it, on it, on it. Let's go. So I say,
Whoa, Tay.
Okay, got some feel of Gucci. We now king the Toki sushi. 顔鏡に映り死ぬ力出たように誰のせいでもない自分でしてんのに好きな音楽でさえまるで戦争にやるしかない夢中に進むさ俺のデスティニー人よりも少し遅く集まり一日遊びたい気持ちはあと回しで今は夢の方が肝心先に知らない先のことなど22歳それ以上でもないさ周りとの差感じまるでタイミングみたいさようように眠れけど Wake up 疲れた顔で変わる今の生活現実上俺はグリーンチェイサー無気力でも一生きればまた正解本体の上上がる瞬間 Wake up それがねできる意味これで Step up 目を覚ましてほら日のボーテ 踊るクール今日の予定心身ともにもう過去全部いつの間にか一生まとう They gon' make up No break up 疲れさ隠してしまうこのメイクアッププラスチック舞台に上がる with the player 浴びるみんなの歓声また見せるマイクなら棒代わり燃やすクリップ誰も止められないシュートすれば一瞬汗の雫落ちる音までリズム水と油たまりが下がったの自分な I'm real 時間は好きで行くけど Real わかるようでわからない Here でも止まらない最高で Still Hey どうせ休めないならばいっそ羽ばたく超えられないさ誰も磨くスニーカー光で輝く
This is really good. Okay.
Wake up.
Interesting. You know, I feel like one thing that is really been kind of the trend on the channel lately, especially when it comes to BTS music, and of course it makes sense as being a vocalist. I have been very vocal heavy, and I admit that, except for like the pre-debut song that we did last week. Almost everything has been nearly all vocal kind of stuff, so it's kind of nice to see, you know, get some love in for the rap line as well, because let's face it, they're really good. The flow on this is actually really good. Now, obviously, because I'm not really much of a rapper, I can't really comment much on the vocal takes here, but I do have to say, I wanted to talk a little bit about the writing and just the wordplay. I think that this is actually pretty interesting. And, you know, I have to say, I really like how each person inside of the rap line has their own style. Like, to me, I always feel like that, and I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but, like, the thing that I always like is, like, RM, you know, Namjoon, he always feels to me like it's always a very intelligent take. It's always a very intelligent feel. And I think that that's really cool. And then for me, when it comes to Yoongi, I feel like that his is always like the more reality-based stuff. And once in a while, you'll get some pretty interesting takes as well. But I always kind of see him as a bit of the realist. And the interesting thing is that I think that this might be somewhat to his benefit. But when we're talking about Hobie and his style, to me, he always comes across as a little bit more gritty, right? His vocal delivery is a little bit more gritty, I think, most of the time. And of course, they all kind of dabble in between each of these styles themselves, but that's just kind of how I overall kind of perceive their rap sections for the most part. And I think that, I will say though, because sometimes when they do cross over into the other stuff and they decide to like do something that they don't normally do, it's always like really cool. But I just like how this whole song is a really nice painting. Just the whole thing is just very, very artistic in so many ways.
My friend, so many my fans. And on my hate, sick, you tell him I took it, I gotta kill you. Or more, kill the time, and I gotta beat you. Oh, you know, more, I got you on a psyche. この気持ち
And I have to say, another thing that I really like is I actually really like the piano that's playing underneath. It's kind of older sounding. It sounds like it's kind of broken down a little bit. And I think that really kind of adds to the whole overall feel. Now, once in a while, I will actually sit down and play on a broken piano just for fun. And I really like the sound of it for a lot of reasons. In fact, I actually put Hate You by Jungkook. I actually played that on an old broken piano. It's a little bit tricky, though, because sometimes the keys don't work. But anyway, and it's that feel. It creates an atmosphere. And the thing that I really like about it is that it's playing this just really nice kind of almost like arpeggio or scale work going on. Meanwhile, the other part of the jazz piano, or part of the piano, is doing kind of like a jazz section, which I actually think ended up working really well. I feel like sometimes when I'm listening to music, it puts a picture in my head. And for me, this is what it draws in my head, I guess I should say, is this feeling of just like, okay, first and foremost, I see a big open like gym or warehouse. It's kind of warm. Light comes in only from the windows. Maybe a couple lights are on in the gymnasium itself. Kind of just a really nonchalant but happy, and kind of just also an understanding of where you're at. That's the painting that it paints for me, and I like that feeling. I think it's actually a really cool song. Definitely for me, I think it's a bit of a hidden gem. I like this a lot. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. We'll discuss this down in the comments below. Thank you, and bye Victus.